In this video, we look at the top 5 things to check before buying a house. That's coming right up.
Welcome to Home Buyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
Hi everyone, I'm Carl and welcome to another Home Buyers School video, a channel where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and tips from home buying experts. And remember, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to get the latest strategies from the experts, hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today I'm joined by Jessica McNabb, Area Manager with Brookfield Residential. And the question we're going to answer today is, what we're actually going to talk about is things to check before buying a house. So Jessica, what are some of the top, 5 things that you should check, or first-time home buyers to check when they buy their home?
For sure. So a key thing for a first-time home buyer is to get in touch with either your bank or a mortgage specialist. I would always recommend to at least reach out to a bank and a mortgage specialist, and then you can come up with kind of a criteria or list of what your budgets are, how much you want to spend on your house versus how much maybe the property taxes are in that area. So there's a lot of different items that you might want to cover with a mortgage specialist. And then your second thing that you want to keep in mind is when you're actually out and about looking at new homes and you're going home to show home, or you're working with a realtor, is actually looking at the size of home. Do you want to have a bigger home? Do you want to have a garage in the back? Do you want it to be attached? So to come up with a list with your family of a criteria, even before you set out looking, or sometime while you first set out looking, because buying a home can be quite overwhelming, as I'm sure you can imagine. The third thing is you want to kind of narrow down your area, so community, because you'll be driving all over the city otherwise. So if you can narrow down the community, maybe there's a school nearby for your children, or maybe the commute time to work, that's something that would be important. So after you've narrowed down your budgets, your community, the home size that you'd like, then you're going to narrow down probably the style of home.
Okay.
And then once you've done that, and you've actually chosen your specific home, you want to look at the foundation and the bones of the home, because the actual interior of the home might be things that you could change after the fact if you're buying a resale home, but it's actually the foundation you want to check to see if there's any cracks in the foundation, to look at the exterior, to look at the grading of the land, because you want to make sure it drains properly.
Is that something that you'd probably hire a home inspector if you're buying resale to take a look at the foundation part?
Yeah, that's an important point actually. We always recommend that if you are buying a resale home, to have a home inspection done on the home. If you are buying a new home, however, it will fall under a warranty program, in which case it goes through 6 checkpoints of a city inspection, in which case you don't need to have an inspector come through, because it's already been verified by the city that it passes all inspection.
And make sure, if you want to know more about the home warranty, check out our video above in the description below. I just actually want to go back. How many times should you actually view a home or view a show home before you actually buy?
That's a great question. I guess it's subjective to every individual. I mean, if you are purchasing a resale home, you'll likely be with a realtor. You can go in with that realtor and perhaps you can put an offer in right then and there. Some people with new homes, for example, like us seeing people in the show homes, sometimes people will come by 5, 6, even 7 times, bring their family. So everybody's different.
Okay. And if you want to know more about visiting a show home, watch our video above in the description below. Do you actually need, so you talked about a realtor, do you need a lawyer to buy a home?
You will need a lawyer with the closing. So just before you take possession of the home with title transfer, because it's such a large amount of money being transferred, you will need to have a lawyer in place. With a resale home, you'll likely pay these fees on your own. So it'll run you typically between $1,200 and $1,600 for lawyer's fees. And then if you are going to be buying with a builder, those fees are typically covered.
Okay. Is it easier, well, maybe not easier, you need a lawyer for both resale and in a brand new home?
You will.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it easier with a resale or is it easier with a builder?
So the title transfer would be the same. It's just a matter of who's paying the costs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what are some things that I should do after buying a home?
So that's a great question. When you are first moved into your home, if it's a new home, for example, you're going to meet with your warranty coordinator, and that's an important key point, because they're going to be your main point of contact for that 1 to 10 years after the fact. So after you've met with them, they're going to give you a criteria of things to check. If it's a resale home, you kind of you do your own due diligence, or maybe you have your home inspector come through to do this criteria with you. So things on this criteria to check that are really important. Something as simple as running your bath fan just before you take a shower and after you take a shower to maintain the humidity levels. A lot of new homes actually come with an HRV system. It's kind of like the lungs of the house.
Okay.
So homes are built really airtight and they don't have a lot of circulation to and from. So this HRV system needs to actually have its filter replaced twice a year. And there's a winter and summer setting. So these are things that if you're buying new that we'll go through these things with you, but resale, of course, perhaps it doesn't have the HRV or you can go through with your inspector to come up with a list.
I also want to let
items.
you know about the video we did on house settling. Again, up above in the description below. In terms of house settling, how long do you need to wait for a new build home to actually make sure the house is settled?
That's a great question. So typically within that first year, you'll see the most settling.
Okay.
It is normal to see some cracks in the walls and the foundation to a certain limit. And within that 1 year timeline is where things can be fixed. And with a new home, you'll have the warranty at that 1 year time. You'll go through a walkthrough and come up with a list and they'll fix these items for you.
Perfect. So, so do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, actually, so with home settling, there are times where your house may be built and a year later the next house may be built next to you.
Yeah.
So when you're digging the foundation on the second home, your home can actually still settle after that 1 year.
Oh, wow.
In which case the warranties still do cover these pieces.
Oh, it does?
It still
Okay.
does.
So, yeah, and what about, let's say you're the first house and then say another house the next year built behind you and one beside, does it still continue to cover as long as new houses are being built around?
So the warranty guidelines, I'm sure you've done another video on warranties, but there's usually a guideline specific to these questions about, 1, 2, 5, and 10 years on the warranty. So in terms of the structural component, you do have the 5 years for this piece.
Perfect. So the question of the day I have for you is, how did you prepare when buying your first home? Let us know in the comment section below. And remember, if you enjoyed this video or found the video helpful, hit the thumbs up button, remember to comment, and remember to subscribe. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.
That's another edition of Homebuyer School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyersschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.